So what is going on with the crypto market right now? It really feels like it's being pulled in two totally opposite directions. I mean, on one side, you've got this intense fear, right? It's all driven by a super shaky global economy. But on the other side, you have some incredibly strong project-specific news that just screams growth. So the big question is, which one of these forces is going to win? Let's dive in and break it all down.
All right, to really get a feel for the fear in the market, we're going to start with just one event. But it's a big one, a really dramatic event that perfectly captures the anxiety that's gripping traders right now. You can think of it like a massive warning shot that just got fired across the entire market.
$100 million. That is a huge number. And that's the value of what we call long positions, basically bets that the market was about to go up that were just completely wiped out. An absolutely staggering amount of money and a sign of a brutal sudden shift in how people are feeling.
And get this wasn't some slow drip. Nope, this was a catastrophic collapse. It wiped out every single one of those positions in the span of a single hour. So you have to ask yourself, what on earth could possibly trigger a move that fast and that punishing?
Well, to find that answer, we've got to look at the big one, the market leader, Bitcoin. Its recent performance is pretty much the engine that's driving all this negative momentum and causing events like that massive liquidation we just talked about. You see, for weeks, that $100,000 mark was seen as the line in the sand, the floor. And breaking below it isn't just a number on a chart, it's a huge psychological blow to anyone feeling bullish. It kind of signals that the sellers are now firmly in the driver's seat.
And if you look at the technicals, wow, what's really striking here is how all the warning signs are pointing in the same direction. The moving averages, which kind of track the overall price trend, are basically screaming strong sell. And then you've got momentum indicators like the RSI, which are deep in bearish territory. That just tells us that the selling pressure is way stronger than any buying pressure right now. It's a pretty grim picture for Bitcoin's short-term future.
So this is the battleground. You've got the ceiling, or what we call resistance, sitting at about $105,000. That's the level the bulls absolutely have to smash through to get back in control. But the floor, the support, is all the way down near $94,500. And if that level breaks, we could see another really sharp drop.
Okay, now let's zoom out a bit, because you have to remember, Bitcoin's struggles aren't just happening in a bubble. The entire global economic landscape is on edge, and all of that pressure is spilling right into riskier assets, like crypto.
I mean, just look at this calendar for the week. Every single day is packed with potentially market-moving economic data. You've got inflation numbers coming out of Canada and the UK, you have central bank minutes from Australia and the US Fed, and some really crucial global growth data on Friday. Any one of these reports could inject some massive volatility into the markets. Okay, so the big picture looks pretty shaky, and Bitcoin looks weak. Got it. But, and this is a big but, while all of that is happening, one major project is telling a completely different and, frankly, an incredibly bullish story. So, let's talk about Cardano. $3 billion. Now, that is not a dollar value. That's the number of Cardano's own token, ADA, that have voted yes on a major proposal. And what's the goal? To get ADA listed on new, top-tier exchanges, which would just dramatically increase its visibility and make it easier for people to get. This is just a massive show of support from the community. And believe me, that is not all. The good news for Cardano just keeps stacking up. It was just included in 2 new ETFs from 21 shares, opening the door to a whole new class of investors. And on top of that, Santander's digital bank, Openbank, just integrated ADA for millions of its users in Spain. I mean, these are not minor updates, folks. These are huge steps toward mainstream adoption. And then, to top it all off, we get this. A direct statement from the Cardano Foundation itself, teasing the launch of an ADA ETF right here in the United States. You guys, if that actually happens, it would be an absolute game changer for the project. It would put it on the same level as some of the biggest names in the entire crypto space. So this is it. This is the core conflict we're looking at. On the one hand, you have this widespread fear driven by the global economy and Bitcoin looking shaky. And on the other hand, you have a project like Cardano that is just firing on all cylinders with incredible fundamentals. How in the world do you make sense of those two realities happening at the same time? So here it is, the two competing stories in a nutshell. You've got the bear case, which is all about global fear and weak charts, and that leads to these really painful moments like that $100 million liquidation. But then you have the bull case, which is built on something tangible, on real fundamentals, amazing project growth,
actual institutional adoption, and a community that is clearly all in.
And this really brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? When the tide of the entire market seems to be going out, can a single ship with a really powerful engine still sail against it? That tension, that push and pull, is at the very heart of the crypto market today. And whether these strong fundamentals can actually overcome widespread fear, well, that's the story that is going to define the next big move for everyone.